Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee, our later episode because I was busy this morning, in which we are here for Mucking Fonday. All the news you might have missed over the weekend, updates from Friday, all here today. This is the first and only international game show, Before Coffee, a father and daughter news podcast where we look up the stories right before the show starts. We just got caffeine in our body and we're learning to read and speak live on stream. Let's get into those mucking headlines and spin that segue wheel. Today on Mucking Fonday. What happens now? Sir Keir Star has resigned as Prime Minister. The thing he said last Friday he was going to fight for. Are you still there? Oh, there you are. Hello?
Yeah.
It's time for your headline.
Still waiting. Huh? I didn't hear anything you said. If you started the show, I am totally clueless. All right. So me sitting here for 5 minutes waiting for any indication that the show was starting. Here I am. Let's see.
I did a countdown and everything.
Alan Greenspan. I didn't hear you. We were disconnected.
Okay.
Former President Alan Greenspan dies at the age of 100. Hope somebody heard that somewhere.
Anti-whaling protester caught in crow's nest as Iceland resumes hunt, and Czechs rally in Prague against government plan for public broadcasters.
Wow, that's a long headline.
With two stories.
And more news and more stupid news from the stupidest timeline in history. Staggering amounts of fentanyl hit the streets of DEA as the DEA just watched and took no action because, yeah, we're the Drug Enforcement Agency. Idiots.
In my culture news, the party is over, while France is looking to tighten its grip on free parties.
And it's National Kissing Day. So I guess get real affectionate with everybody. It's June 22nd, 2026 on Before Coffee. The technical difficulties are driving me crazy.
All right, let's roll our first segue. Oh, I was already on the right computer.
All right, the show started, and we're in contact with each other instead of what? Oh, you're gone again. You know, that's what I've been doing all morning. Nobody's there. Anyway.
I mean, I wasn't here yet. Associate is our first segue.
Okay.
The first story is an update from last Friday in which we covered a story where Sir Keir Star said he was fighting for leadership of the Labour Party, and now he's resigned. So it was the shortest fight ever. Didn't even go 10 rounds. It was a knockout, as far as I'm concerned. This is from Christopher McKeon on The Independent. Sir Keir Starmer has resigned as Prime Minister, sparking a seismic shift in the UK's political landscape and triggering a fierce contest for Labour's leadership and the keys to Downing Street. Has it really? He's asked Labour's governing body to set out a timetable for his replacement, beginning on the 9th of July. That's when he's officially going to be no longer Prime Minister, and ending by the summer recess to ensure a new leadership is in place before the Parliament returns in September. Sir Keir stated he would do all he could to ensure an orderly transition of power after announcing his decision to quit as Labour leader and Prime Minister. The leading challenger, Andy Burnham, returns to Westminster as an MP today, fueling speculation over how quickly the Labour leadership could change hands and who will take charge. This is what could happen next. Labour's rules mean even getting onto the ballot can be a complex process. First, candidates must secure the backing of 81 Labour MPs, 20% of the party's parliamentary strength. They then need to receive nominations from either 5% of constituency Labour parties or 3 affiliate organizations, which must include 2 trade unions, because they're the Labour Party after all, which represents 5% of affiliate membership. Only after passing these 2 stages will candidates go before party membership. Andy Burnham's decision to stand in the Makerfield by-election, giving up the Greater Manchester mayoralty to become an MP, suggests he believes he has the necessary backing from the parliamentary party to get onto the ballot. Former Health Secretary Wes Streeting has repeatedly insisted he has the 81 names required to mount the leadership bid and has spent the weeks since his resignation setting out his stall. Though today he set out his support for Andy Burnham, apparently ruling himself out of standing in a leadership contest. Former Royal Marines officer Al Carnes, who quit as an armed force minister in a row over defense funding and the treatment of Northern Ireland veterans, has also hinted he would seek to enter a leadership race, although it is unclear whether the MP, who was only elected in 24, has the supporters required to get on the ballot paper. How would a Labour leadership contest work? After a leadership hopeful nails down 81 backers in the Commons and support from constituency parties and trade unions, candidates are then put to a vote among party members. It's all inside, right? Nobody living in the UK, unless they're already inside this leadership, is making any decisions, okay? So you've already voted for the Labour Party, now they get to decide what person's going to take up the mantle. Candidates are then put to a vote among party members who rank them in order of preference. So they don't say, I vote for this guy. They say, I would rather have this guy over this guy, but I definitely don't want that guy. He's my number 3 pick. A contender is declared the winner if they get more than 50% of the first preferences. And this is usually happening through a process of elimination during rounds of voting, the timetable for which is set by Labour's ruling National Executive Committee, or NEC. Labour's NEC will set the timetable for the whole election, including how long potential candidates have to secure nominations and how long members will be able to vote. The party's last leadership contest in 2020 ran for around 3 months, with nominations opening in early January and the result announced in April. Which is why Starmer said July 9th is when he's out, and he's waiting until this, I guess, until the end of the summer recess, which could be what, August? September, maybe, until that's like the limit. If you don't guys pick anyone by September, I'm coming back, I guess. I have no idea. NEC sources have previously suggested there is a little appetite for a long contest, with a maximum of 2 months being floated, which would fit the timetable of like July or August. But Mr. Burnham's supporters have suggested a transition period that would see the new leader take over in September. That's exactly what I said, which would mean a longer contest. What would a coronation look like? Andy Burnham's significant support among the parliamentary party could mean he ends up as the only candidate. With no need for a membership ballot, the scenario could see the contest wrapped up within a matter of weeks or even days. But given Mr. Burnham's apparent preference for a 3-month transition period to allow him to prepare for government, it's unclear what would happen next in the event he was the only candidate. Insisting on a transition would leave Sir Keir as a lame duck over a period that includes a NATO summit where countries are expected to set out plans to increase defense spending, and a UK-EU summit in Brussels seen as crucial to Labour's attempts to reset relations with the bloc. There is some precedent for such a coronation, however. Gordon Brown was the only candidate to receive enough nominations in Labour's 2007 leadership election, more than a month before Tony Blair formally stepped down as Prime Minister. In that period, Mr. Brown still attended leadership hustings around the country to set out his ideas in an attempt to win over the public. So I guess that's the idea here. If he's the only person who's able to even get votes, he'll just be like an interim prime minister before actually being let in, so to say. So he'll be acting like a prime minister without actually being the prime minister. Whatever. At the end of the day, he's just like the final say on the decisions. That's what a prime minister is. But it's all still following a certain party line. And that's my story about the possible future of political maneuvering this summer for the UK. If you have an associate for that.
We did have a couple. Let's see. From 1979 to 2010, they had 5 prime ministers in 31 years. In the last 16 years, they've had 6, including Liz Truss, whose tenure was just only slightly longer than that story. Anyway. So again, who's number 6? It's this new guy, right? They haven't still voted on him, even though, this guy's going to take over. Oh, really? Are you sure? Are you sure?
Why did you just move your camera like that?
I don't know. Why? What happened? Did anything happen?
You changed your framing completely. I set your framing before and I have to reset it.
Okay.
But it is very funny that they're constantly moving the who's the leader like all the time.
Yeah.
So,
Margaret Thatcher was there for 11 years. John Major.
I don't know what it's supposed to solve. I think
Tony Blair.
Like
Tony Blair had 10 years. Tony Blair had 10 years. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, well, that's it, really. It's time for your story, I guess. Let me roll the segue wheel. I have 2 on the second bit.
All right, gotcha. All right, one story for me, and it's about Alan Greenspan, who I thought was dead already, but apparently he isn't. Well, now he is now. What do we get?
Apparently he is now. Non sequitur.
Non sequitur about, I don't know, if you get to be the chairman of the Federal Reserve and you get to be 100, you're definitely winning at life. So there's a guy who was at the top of the game, whatever the hell it is in the banking industry. APnews.com, Paul Weissman has a story. Greenspan died Monday from complications of Parkinson's disease. That's a funny thing to say when he's 100. He died from being 100. That's what he died for, being 100.
Yeah, at that point.
Parkinson's disease. Okay, Parkinson's
disease. He died
disease.
from living a long life. That's what he died from.
He died from being 100 and having a weakened immune system that could be taken over by Parkinson's disease. That's what he died from. To me, NBC's news correspondent, Andrea Mitchell, was his wife of 29 years. I believe she's approximately 29 years younger than him, too. To me, he was my husband, she said. Okay, so we go right to a reporter, right? And no disrespect on Andrea Mitchell, but when she married Alan Greenspan, she stopped being a reporter. She started being part of the establishment. That's all there is to it. There is no way she could be an honest reporter, even if she's trying. But she still did a job as a reporter. Never going to say a negative word about the Federal Reserve, right? Anyway, to me, he was my husband who shaped my life from my very first date in 1984, which he was, let's do the math. That was 84 was 42 years ago. So shit. Yeah, I mean, he was still a spring chick in 58? He had irrational exuberance for baseball, the Washington Commanders, or the Redskins is what they were back then, tennis, golf, and music, especially jazz. And I'll bet you he doesn't even know they're called the Commanders. He probably lost his, cognitive abilities at some point. He will be remembered for his brilliance and his kindness. Being his life partner was the joy of my life. For 18 and a half years as a helm of the Fed, Greenspan presided over sustained area American growth and prosperity, which is a complete fucking lie. He oversaw what the Reagan years, don't forget that, and the absolute elimination of the middle class. Let's not talk about him overseeing an expansion of economies. Here's the thing. Economies will expand and grow over 18 and a half years, unless you're a total shitbag economy. That's not anything you can attribute to the bank. All they do is raise interest rates, lower interest rates, raise interest rates, lower interest rates. That's all they really do. Greenspan was so respected during his many years as the head of the world's most influential central bank. By the time he stepped down in 2006, he was widely celebrated as Oracle and Maestro. Boy, they sure are laying it on thick and heavy about this guy.
A god amongst mere mortals, huh?
Yeah, here's this he presided over a breathtaking surge in stock prices and a 10-year economic boom that began in March of 1991. You know what happened in March of 1991? George Bush raised taxes on rich people. That's what helped our economic boom in 1991.
No, don't say that. No, don't tell the rich people.
And when Bill Clinton got in office, he raised taxes on rich people again. And you know what? Balanced the budget, and the economy was booming. Oh, those were the days. Oh my goodness.
Everyone was
The intense
pretty
scrutiny of
positive in the
Greenspan's
90s. I remember that.
So again, we're gonna give Greenspan all the credit, but all he did was set interest rates. That's all he really did. The intense scrutiny of Greenspan's intentions gave birth to new Fed folklore of the briefcase indicator. A stuffed briefcase carried into Fed meetings implied changes might be afoot because Greenspan carried with him charts and research to make his point. Yes, he did a lot of testimony for Congress about banking and regulations, and again, he lived a long time. Let's see, his official appointment was Ronald Reagan to Greenspan to run the Fed in 1987. He was tested almost immediately on 87, which became known as Black Monday. The stock market suffered its worst day percentage loss in American history. Just 2 months into his term, the Dow Jones Industrial Average shed 22% of its value rapidly for reasons that weren't entirely clear then and remain opaque to this day. Yeah, here's what happens. Rich people panicked and they took their money out of the stock market. That's what happens. Did you understand what happens in the stock market? Those are the reasons.
No, rich people are just like nature. They're like hurricanes. We can't blame them for that kind of stuff. They're just a natural force.
Okay, let's say the stock market's at 50,000, which it isn't. If the stock market was at 50,000, 22% of its value would be what? 15,000 points in one day. That's a lot. And that would be everybody jumping off buildings because they're oh my God, my stock is worthless. So anyway, there's a story about Alan Greenspan, who was guy at the head of the Federal Reserve for way longer than I think anyone. 18 and a half years, long damn time. And he just drifted off into retirement and just faded into oblivion, into the background. Never heard from again until he passed away.
And then suddenly he's a hero of economic proportions.
Yeah. Oh, hey, he's the one that caused this surge in economies in the 1990s. Oh, yeah, what did he do? Oh, he lowered interest rates. Oh, he lowered it. He lowered interest rates. That was it, huh? That's all he can do. Raise interest rates, lower interest rates. He looks at inflation and goes, oh, inflation's too high. Let's raise interest rates to slow down borrowing. That's all they do.
I guess in my non sequitur, I just am very fascinated with this idea that people do a job and they're suddenly heroes for that. You know? Like farmers, you know? Farmers are just out there being farmers. Like, they're heroes to humanity! Praise the farmers! It's like, they're just working like everyone else, guys. People at the bank are just working like everyone else. That's all.
I don't want to minimize his career or anything he ever did in his life, but I could do his job. I could very easily do his job. It's the fucking easiest job in the damn world. All you do is go, inflation's high. What tools do I have to control inflation? Oh, I know, I'll raise interest rates. That's the only tool I have. Hey, inflation is really low and the economy is going really, really fast. What can I do? Raise interest rates. That's all they do. Our economy's slowing down. Lower interest rates. Wow. Amazing. What a job. Just the stupidest. I mean, seriously, it's like the guy who picks out the color of your walls. It's either going to be white or off-white. You know, who cares? I mean, most overrated job in the world. In the world. The most overrated job in the world. They do the same thing every time. Yeah. Thanks, Baker. In this country.
Also, good morning, Yin. Thank you for stopping by with your just the acorn, top acorn. You didn't even get an acorn, just the top of the acorn. What a shame. Let's go to our next segue.
Spin the wheel. Rest in peace, Alan Greenspan. I thought you were already dead. But hey, you know, you had a great career. You rose to the top of your profession, and you married above your pay grade. Congratulations.
Mixed metaphor is our next segue. This is when I have two stories. This first one is going to be about whale hunting in Iceland. That's right. Save the whales, not in Iceland. This is on ABC, Australia. For some reason, Australia is talking about this. A lone anti-whaling protester who climbed into the crow's nest of a whaling vessel in Iceland says he broke down when he realized he was going out to sea. One of Iceland's two remaining whaling ships set out this week to hunt the giant mammals after a 2-year hiatus, local media and campaigners reported. Iceland is one of the only 3 countries that still openly permit whaling, alongside Norway and Japan, despite international opprobrium from the public and animal welfare organizations. Protester Holmstein Haraldsson chained himself to the mast of the Val 9 before it left port of Reykjavik on Friday. So what was that again? What was Friday? What day was Friday? The 19th of June.
Juneteenth, baby, Juneteenth.
Yeah, Juneteenth, 19th of June. Mr. Haraldsson spent more than 2 hours in the crow's nest before the vessel set sail, Icelandic digital news site Vizier reported. He said he did not believe it would go all the way to Fjordur. I'm sorry about my Icelandic, I don't know any. Which is also called the Whale Fjord. I believe that we would possibly just take a little detour and turn around, but that didn't happen, Mr. Haraldsson said, adding he broke down when he realized what was happening. I am very grateful to the crew for how they reacted when I broke down. I felt so bad I started crying. What, did he feel like he was participating in the whaling because he was on the ship with the people who were about to go whaling? Or was he just scared of the open sea? I'm confused why he broke down. He just broke down, but
whale
didn't
of a
explain why.
problem.
Yeah. After a journey of more than 3 hours, the ship arrived at the pier in Fjordur, and the crew could be seen with Haraldsson, Vizier reported. After he came down from the crow's nest, Mr. Haraldsson was escorted away by police. I hope the whaling stops. I hope people stop consuming animals and animal products. That's my hope, he said. Activists are pretty disheartened. In 23, environmentalists were hopeful Iceland had seen the end of whaling, with a majority of citizens in favor of dropping the practice. It is so disheartening to see Iceland's whaling boat leave port to begin another season of whale slaughter, despite an overwhelming evidence that there's no human way to kill a whale. Oh, that's the problem. That you can't kill them humanely?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's the argument. Joanna Swab of the Humane World for Animals said after a second vessel headed out to sea. These ocean giants will very likely endure an agonizing death for the meat that virtually no one in Iceland wants to eat. Iceland canceled its whale hunt in 24 and 25, partly because of economic woes had cut demand and the industry was not deemed sufficiently profitable. The International Whaling Commission banned the commercial killing of whales in 1986 amid alarm at the declining stock of the marine mammals. Iceland and Norway are the only two countries that still openly practice commercial whaling in defiance of the moratorium. Japan hunts the ocean giants for what it claims are scientific purposes, even though most of the meat ends up in the market for consumption. Iceland's Marine and Freshwater Research Institute has recommended a reduction in the number of whales harpooned this season, which runs from mid-June to mid-September. The 26 annual number of fin whales killed should not exceed 150 animals, a 28% drop on the recommended annual catch from the period of 2018 to 25, it said. The fin whale is the second largest animal on Earth after the blue whale. And you're killing 150 of them? Like, I feel like one whale's enough. If it's that big, right? If it's a huge whale, if you're gonna kill a whale, why do you need to kill 150? Who needs all that? Dog food? I really don't know what they're doing with whale meat, because I've never seen it. I've never seen whale meat for sale, but I guess they wouldn't sell it here, would they? Maybe they sell it only in Iceland. But Iceland is so small.
Northern Canada. Canada, Newfoundland, all them places where the natives still hunt whales, man.
Yeah, but they're allowed to, right? They have a treaty.
Yeah.
They have a treaty to be allowed to do it. But this is commercial, which means that they're hunting a whale and then they're selling the meat on the global market. But I don't know who is buying meat on the global market. That's what my question is. They're not telling me that information. But let me finish the story before you say anything else. The Institute set an annual quota of 168 animals for the mink whale hunt this year at 23% reduction. The government is due to table a bill on banning whaling altogether within months. So, that's the end of my story. They haven't given up on stopping the whaling. They just stopped this one.
Yeah. Well, whales, again, it may be pie in the sky to wish that people could eat whales, but whales are like the infinite buffet that just keeps on giving. Plus, they'll give you oil, right? Oil for your lamps, heat in the wintertime. You turn the bones into various tools. I mean, I'd say there's endless supply of things.
No, I mean, traditionally whales were very,
Still
useful,
are.
the whole part of the whale, yeah.
Still are, man. Still are. That didn't stop. People still use them. Just because we don't see it on our TV doesn't mean
I'm not saying it has to be on TV. I'm just saying the reports, at least according to this article, right? The reports say like nobody's really buying the whale, so they don't understand why they're whaling still. But that's why they didn't do it last year, right? They didn't. The last 2 years they didn't do it because nobody wanted whale. There was no need for it or want for it. They couldn't sell it on the market. So.
I know there's another devious way they can get rid of it by calling it something else, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like dog food? Look, they just make it into dog food? I have no clue. Yeah.
Call it an aphrodisiac and say, hey, this gets you going. Hey. People are stupid. So there you go. We live in the timeline of the age of stupid. So
I have one more story. This one's really short, and it's an update on Czechia. They're protesting the government. They're rallying in Prague. This is on AP News. Coming out of Prague, thousands of Czechs rallied in the capital on yesterday, the 21st of June, to condemn a plan by the government led by populist Prime Minister Andrej Babis to overhaul funding for public broadcasters that is considered dangerous for their independence. The protesters gathered in front of the Czech public television offices in Prague to voice their support for the media a day before their staffers plan to go on a warning strike, and after recent protest marches in the regional capitals and Prague. According to a plan approved last week, public radio and television will be financed from the state budget starting next year, and not from fees paid by individuals, households, and businesses. I guess maybe they're trying to get rid of individual influence to these public broadcasters. Critics say that change will give the three-party coalition government a means to take control of the media, following the examples of populist governments in Slovakia under Prime Minister Robert Fico, in Hungary under Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Oh, so they're saying the government is going to try to make all these public broadcasting companies into speaking only the government line, right? And then you can't criticize the government now because you take our money. The media don't belong to politicians. Mekulas Minar, a main organizer from the Million Moments for Democracy group, said, "They belong to us all, and we won't allow them to be stolen from us." Babis, member of his government, and loyal lawmakers have a record of attacks against the public and other mainstream media. The government plan, which has been criticized by international media organizations, would give the media about 15% less money than they have this year. It contains no guarantee of funding in the future. And they could also just pull funding and say, well, your channel's over now. You're no longer getting funding. And because they made it a law, right, it would be illegal for them to get money from anybody else. That's the problem here, right? They're banning getting money from public people or corporations or businesses. So you'll just go out of business. The director of public radio and television said that would require them to lay off hundreds of staffers with less money. Babis said that the media needs to save money. The agenda of Babis' coalition includes steering the country away from supporting Ukraine's fight against Russia. Red flag, and rejecting some key EU policies. Don't join why are you in the EU if you don't want to? Not this shit again.
Orban.
Anyways, populist. Orban's already gone. This is Czechia. Babis.
Oh, okay.
Babis is the populist.
Who's the idiot in charge? Oh. By populist, you mean Putin butt boy? Is that what you mean by populist?
Exactly. As far as I'm concerned, whenever a European leader is called a populist, it's usually like, hey, we're talking about this one particular issue and you all should care about it, and that's the only thing that matters now.
Yeah, and
I want to give money to Ukraine war. That's my thing I ran on, and everyone voted for me for that. And that's all I'm here for, is to do that. Yeah.
Another name for official government news is propaganda. Television news should just prove the old saw, which says that sunlight is the best disinfectant. That's the metaphor here, especially when public pressure is needed, and that's what you need. You need public pressure, like they got in Albania over that Jared Kushner resort they're building in Albania. I bet you they're protesting today until Jared Kushner pulls up stakes and leaves. All his investors pull out.
I mean, I don't know if there's any updates on that. I haven't seen anything, but I mean, they already destroyed the fences, so to say.
he better get busy giving hand jobs to local politicians, because that's what he's going to have to do now. All right, so it's been a wheel. No, we got another story.
No, that was it. Okay. Those are two stories.
I can find another lead for my pencil. This one keeps...
Remind me of a song.
A song about fentanyl. I don't know if there are any songs about fentanyl, but again, here we go with the right wing in this country telling us drugs are the problem, drugs are the problem, drugs are the problem. Unfortunately for them, they don't do anything about the problem because they're trying to destroy our country. And this is further proof that Trump is trying to destroy America. Oh, they're probably helping to frickin' distribute them. Who knows? These fucking guys that wear his mask, what they're up to. AP News has a story. Jim Mustaine. I don't think he's related to Dave Mustaine because it's spelled different. Joshua Goodman as the story. It's Albuquerque, which is one of your DEA headquarters. He, as you remember from Breaking Bad, right? Our old friend Hank. Even if it's battled the deadliest drug epidemic in U.S. history, the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration promoted hundreds of thousands of fentanyl pills to hit the streets of New Mexico. Who cares about them? They're all minorities, right? Between 2023 and 2025, so 2 years. Again, the DEA, they can't blame this on Trump necessarily. Blame it on incompetence. According to the 3 current and former DEA agents and government records viewed by the Associated Press, the DEA agents repeatedly monitored shipments of fentanyl pills, but did not seize them, as federal prosecutors sought to bring bigger criminal cases against traffickers. And let's not forget that Trump has pardoned drug traffickers as soon as he got in office. As fentanyl prosecutors sought to bring bigger criminal cases against drug traffickers. The White House last year designated a weapon of mass destruction. Now that's a little bit hyperbole, but you can't expect anything else from politicians. Agents and experts, however, said the tactic amounted to a gamble with public safety and potentially imperiled communities in and around Albuquerque and may have violated U.S. Justice Department rules intended to safeguard the public. The DEA's in the Justice Department now? They were in Homeland Security. Maybe they never left. I did work for them, but I don't know what the agency they reported to tell you the truth at the time. I just know I was working for. I worked for the FBI too. We poisoned our community to make cases. Okay. Mm-hmm. DEA Special Agent David Hall told AP in a series of interviews in New Mexico, through our own willful blindness, we get to say we don't really know what happened to the drugs, but we do. But we 100% got people killed. So if your son or daughter is dead from fentanyl between 23 and 25, sue the federal government. Sue them. Sue them motherfuckers. The DEA has long contended it would not be plausible to seize every shipment of every drug. Okay. But you can say that's part of your mission statement and stop trying to fucking tell everybody that, right? What you do is when you're a drug enforcement agency, you go out and you say, we're going to get you illegal motherfuckers. You can't hide forever. That's what you do. You don't say, oh, we can't possibly arrest everybody. Okay. Thanks for giving up before you even started. You might as well just disband your agency because you're saying you were going to fail at our job. Fuck our mission statement. Ridding the streets of illicit fentanyl, manufactured mostly in Mexican labs, became DEA's top priority the past decade. Overdose deaths surged at the same time as its lethality. A few milligrams can kill the average adult. That seems a little bit few milligrams can kill the average adult. By doing what? Snorting it, eating it, how? That's not very specific, is it? Upended the time-tested tactics that have been used to combat drugs like cocaine and heroin. Those methods have included allowing drug transactions to be completed so agents can follow the narcotics through the supply chain. Fentanyl, however, is so dangerous that the U.S. Justice Department developed guidelines for agents in such circumstances, encouraging them to seize the opioid wherever practicable. Well, you can just use that word anywhere. What does practicable mean? I have no idea what that word means. But hey, it's a government word, so to use it. Albuquerque, which has a neighborhood so besieged by drugs, is known as the war zone. We all saw Breaking Bad. We know what's happening there. In other regions...
Sadly, that was a documentary in a way, yeah.
That was the documentary, Walter White. There was really a guy... There was really a school chemistry teacher who threw a pizza on his roof. That actually happened. Well, overdose deaths nationwide fell 14% last year. Government data showed New Mexico tallied a 21% spike. So you're intentionally targeting the poor people in there. Again,
Something to
New Mexico,
celebrate, I guess. Fucking hell.
one of the poorest states in America, and you're using it for a fucking lab to see what you can get done. Again, sue these motherfuckers. Alex Abalez, who served a U.S. attorney in New Mexico from 2022 through last year, said authorities at times allowed drug shipments to go unseized as part of a broader. We're already talking about this. He said the approach reflected his office's limited resources. Yeah, limited resources. Get some money from ICE. And his belief that prosecuting large organizations had bigger impact. Yeah, whatever. Here's what you do. The war on drugs. You go after the small-time dealers. That works. It does. Letting them sell drugs doesn't work at all. It works for a certain extent, but you're killing people. Okay, so let's do this. The bigger fish are worth catching, Ubalez says, and it will be save more lives. The DEA said in a statement that the investigative decisions at issue were lawful, reasonable under circumstances, and consistent with department guidance. Public descriptions suggesting that the DEA knowingly permitted fentanyl to reach communities are false and fundamentally discharacterize the facts. Well, you got an inside whistleblower saying the opposite. In some cases, DEA had such detailed intelligence about drug deliveries that agents were able to tally precise pill counts according to reports. Yeah, You're going after the bigger fish. Did you catch any big fish? No, you didn't. You didn't catch Epstein, you feds. So I'm sorry, you did catch him, but you let him go. Agents, for example, deciphered coded chatter over cell phones and closely surveilled transactions. Why are we giving the DEA any money at all? I just want to know this. Why do they have a budget where they just ignore crime? I'm just going to end this because it's pissing me off. We get to decide what laws get broken and who to arrest because we're special. We're the special agency who gets the frickin' DEA Special Agent David Howell, who filed the whistleblower complaint, doesn't give a fuck about what they say. He's like, okay, let's see what he has to say. Let's see what Special Agent David Howell has to say. He's the one that's all about this. Blowing the whistle. Let's do this. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives was savage with partisan criticism after two of those the guns in this Operation Fast and Furious in 2011 that these idiots were running on their own. Two of the guns were surfaced in the scene of a fatal shooting. The Border Patrol agent and Justice Department explicitly forbid agents from allowing firearms to be trafficked. So this has already happened with the Border Patrol.
And then they killed somebody else in a different federal department.
They were monitoring a gun deal. They let the deal go down, and instead of arresting the people in the gun deal, they said, well, we'll see where this leads. Well, led to a murder. So that was a big fucking mistake. Howell became so unnerved by his agency's failure to see fentanyl that he began flagging overdose deaths that might have been caused by the very pills DEA permitted the flow of dealers. One of those cases included a 15-month-old toddler who died after ingesting burned fentanyl residue last year in Espanola, a New Mexico town ravaged by grinding poverty and addiction. Every town named Espanola seems like it has that problem. Howell, who joined DEA 19 years ago after a decade in the Navy, took his allegations to the U.S. Office of Special Counsel. The agency was tasked with protecting whistleblowers, initially found a substantial likelihood of wrongdoing and asked the Justice Department to investigate. And early in 24, Howell took the Justice Department's Office of Professional Responsibility. DEA agents observed, yet not seized, separate deliveries and 150 to 50,000 fentanyl pills. I think those might have killed somebody. DEA and federal prosecutors, he added, are placing themselves in a precarious position where they're not able to prove that the fentanyl they could have stopped did not result in the death of a person. Yeah, you can't really prove it. I guess you can't disprove it either. The Justice Department's Office of Professional Responsibility, founded in 2024 in the DEA U.S. Attorney's Office, had made reasonable decisions in deciding how to allow drugs to go unseized. Inaction posed no specific danger to public health. Oh, okay. So that's about a load of horse shit as an agencies out there.
Just private, just governmental health, I guess.
Yes, they're deciding on their own who's worth saving and who's not. Not the kid that's just overdosing tomorrow. It's them 50, 60 kids that might overdose in the future. They're worth saving, not this one kid. You're full of shit, DEA. Do your fucking job. Arrest people when they break the law. Stop trying to be Dick Tracy. Stop trying to be, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. No, you're not. Arrest motherfuckers. confiscate the drugs. That's your fucking job, assholes. Thank you.
This is great while your camera gets all weird while you're ranting.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I was not doing my job, I get fired. That's all I got to say. Right?
I guess the song this reminds me of is a song by, where is it? I just had the lyrics open somewhere.
So true, funny how it seems, always in time, but never. I'm gonna sing until you get a song.
There's a song by Sun Kill Mood called "War on Drugs, Suck My Cock," and that's the chorus. That's
yeah, it's a war on drugs. Again, in case you're not up to speed on the war on drugs, drugs won, and it wasn't even close. Okay, drugs won, and it's taken a victory lap for the last 50 years. It's just like, go, yeah, exactly. That's what drugs is doing. It's laughing at you.
Okay, let's roll our next segue.
Here comes the camera. Hold on a second. We got shitty camera. Shitty. More time.
Bad pun from My Culture News. Sadly, the party is over in France. This is from Sarah Mayasoni on Euronews Culture.
Hello. Okay. Sorry.
What the hell?
What's re-roll? Bad pun?
Yes, bad pun. On Monday, the French National Assembly will start reviewing a new governmental bill aiming to crack down on unauthorized outdoor gatherings, or free parties in quotations. When partying clashes with politics, France is looking to tighten its legislation around the unauthorized outdoor techno gathering known as free parties. Today is just a day after the country's annual Fête de la Musique. The French National Assembly will start reviewing a new bill against disturbances to public order. Interior Minister Laurent Nunez said the repost bill should provide a shock of authority and bring immediate responses to issues that disrupt public order, security, and peace for French citizens. A move welcomed by right-wing lawmakers. Red flag. Right. The legislative text is set to tackle a wide set of practices from laughing gas consumption to squatting. But attention has specifically revolved around the section addressing free parties. Originating from the United Kingdom in the late 1980s, the free party movement advocates for an unrestricted and anti-capitalist approach to partying. No, that anti-capitalism, and has since spread throughout Europe. Most of these outdoor
party.
I don't know. I guess you had to be there. I wasn't alive in the 1980s, so I haven't studied this, so I have no idea. Most of these outdoor gatherings are self-regulated and demand no entrance fee, unlike rave parties. Forget exclusive nightclubs. A field and a sound system blasting techno music is all that it takes to have fun. I mean, I kind of agree with what they're going for here. They're basically saying, let's not, something as simple as having fun and dancing with other people in your community should not be gate kept, right? We shouldn't have, you're not allowed to have fun at night with your fellow community unless you pay for a venue and have tickets.
You're always catering.
Have a license to sell alcohol. Yeah.
The lowest common denominator is that person that complains about everything. That's what you're catering.
So that's what's happening here. Some 80-year-old woman is like, they're always keeping me up at night. My life is sad and lonely, or something. Yeah. The concept is not everyone's liking. In 2022, the instigation of far-right Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's new government, Italy made the organization of unauthorized outdoor parties punishable by up to 6 years in jail and 10,000 fines. And what do we know about fascists? The first thing they go after is your culture, your music, and your free time. Yep, so that's not surprising. You guys are allowed to
look at those people. They only create art.
Yeah.
They don't have creative. They only create art.
Yeah. The proponents of free parties now say that the new French bill is putting the movement's values at risk. In early May, between 20,000 and 40,000 people gathered near Bourges in central France to dance on an old military site and protest the interior minister's plan to restrict free parties. In the following days, the French Senate passed a series of measures, including a repost bill Gatherings of more than 250 people must be reported to authorities, compared to 500 previously. Senators voted to make the organization of free parties punishable by 2 years imprisonment and a fine of 30,000 euros. Wow, the Senate has introduced a new and controversial offense targeting participants who could now face up to 6 months in jail and 7,500 euros fine for attending a free party. So whoever runs the party is fined 30,000. Whoever is going to the party is fined 7,500 euros. The French left announces this repressive bill. Lawmaker Mathilde Panot, an executive from the leftist La France Insoumise party, called on the government to leave the young people of this country in peace. The National Assembly is set to decide in the coming weeks whether or not to uphold the measure passed by Senate. The free party scene is under threat, the movement support group Techno Anti-Reps said in a Facebook post earlier this month. Our culture may be controversial, but believe us, it is far from dead. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like a really weird gray line, right? Like if we decide to have a party at the center of our village, like in the center square, are we gonna get arrested because it's not mandated by the government? You know, that kind of idea, right? The village is having a party. Wait, you guys didn't mandate to have this party. You need to do the proper paperwork.
Yeah, it sounds like French elites being mad again, right? Remember, you know the French elites. You remember them? Remember them? Yeah. My pun is, the French elites. I got 2 puns. Okay, the French elites are losing their heads again. And my next one is a party. Hey, it's time to party like this is borrowed from Prince. It's time to party like it's 1793. France. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, no.
Heads rolling, guillotines are chopping, and heads are rolling.
I like how the sounds aren't going off. They're going to go off soon. It's delayed. It's super delayed.
Rim shot. I just heard rim shot. Rim shot.
They're going to go off at the same time at some point.
Right on.
Yeah, they're just not playing at all. Look at that. They're just not playing.
That's so weird. Okay.
They're all going to play at the same time.
Let's hit again. Let's try to figure out what happened.
There they go. So they're going to play all at the same time.
There they go.
Are we going to roll the wheel? No, the wheel's not going to roll either.
I'm dialing back in history to the 168 BC. Holy crap.
Our next segue for me is going to be an associate. Easy. This day in history.
Oh, yeah. You can sleep through this. All kinds of tidbits in history. 168 BC. The Romans defeated the Macedonians under King Perseus in the Battle of Pydna, which marked the end of the Macedonian monarchy and allowed Rome's annexation of Macedonia. It's like Alexander the Great's territory. 1611, English explorer Henry Hudson, who earlier had tried to discover a short route from Europe to Asia, tried going through Northwest Passage, through the Arctic Ocean, was set adrift with his son and 7 others in Hudson Bay by mutineers. So mutineers just said, fuck you, Henry Hudson. You and your son can go. I guess he didn't survive that. Pretty cold in Hudson Bay, even in June. 1633, accused of heresy by the Inquisition, Galileo was forced to recant his support for the Copernican system, which held that the sun was the center of the solar system. That's right.
And was put on house arrest, basically.
Once again, idiots. The science doesn't care what you believe. It does. You can believe what you want. It don't care. 1815, Napoleon abdicated as French emperor for the 2nd time. So June 20th was the end of Napoleon, if it really was Napoleon. Rumors have it. It wasn't even Napoleon. It was another guy who looked like him. In 1880, that's probably why he got his ass kicked in battle, too, I would say. 1887, English biologist and philosopher Julian Huxley. I don't know if he's related to Aldous Huxley, but he might be. The guy who wrote Brave New World and died the same day as JFK. English biologist and philosopher Julian Huxley was born in London on this day. He influenced modern development of embryology, a study of embryos. The study of zygotes. How about that? 1906, American motion picture director, producer Billy Wilder was born. He was known for films that humorously treat subjects of controversy in other American life. He was born in Sacha, Australia, which is now, Austria, not Australia. Sucha, Austria, which is now part of Poland. So he's either Polish or he's Austrian. Either way, he's Billy Wilder. And he made a bunch of, he made Sunset Boulevard, for instance. That movie with the old silent movie actress who's living in the past. 1910, Katherine Dunham, an African-American dancer, choreographer, anthropologist, noted for an innovative interpretation of primitive, ritualistic, and ethnic dances. She was born this day. Doesn't say, it was born. 1940, with an invading German force at its door, mid-June 1940, the French government, under the leadership of Marshal Philippe Pétain, signed an armistice with Germany, thereby creating Vichy France, or your Nazi cooperator. Low-life sons of bitches. Charles de Gaulle is the real hero.
Rebellious spirit right there.
Charles de Gaulle, the real hero, the leader of the French underground. 1941, Germany violated the German-Soviet non-aggression pact, which is what Germany did all the time, and attacked the Soviet Union.
And that's why they lost World War II, because they were idiots.
Yeah, and Stalin was sitting there he was doing the Stalin dance on this day in 1940. Yeah. He's going, I got Hitler.
They woke the Red Bear or whatever. Yeah.
I looked the other way when Hitler invaded Poland because I want a part of Poland too. Oh shit, he invaded me! Oh, 3 million dead Russians prove how fucking stupid Stalin was. 1955, the animated musical. Sorry about my language. Sorry, I apologize. There's a lot of sensitive ears out there. The animated musical Lady and the Tramp premiered in 1955. Walt Disney, who made nothing but color films because there was absolutely no reason to make black and white cartoons. Anyway, it was released this day in 1955. Happy birthday to Lady and the Tramp. You know, the one where they eat the spaghetti thing.
Kissing Dogs Day. It is. Maybe that's why it's Kissing Day. National Kissing Day, because of the dogs kissing.
There you go. Maybe we should play that clip. 1969 in Cleveland, a severely polluted Cuyahoga River caught on fire. That's right. A river in Cleveland just spontaneously combusted into a fire when an oil slick floating on the surface ignited. Although it was not the first time the river incident garnered national attention, it led to anti-pollution measures that substantially improved the river's condition. Speaking of killing people,
how many? Rest in peace.
How many people died from just being near that river? 1978, Charon, the largest.
Yeah, right.
In 1978, Charon, the largest moon of Pluto, was discovered. Pluto's about the size. It ain't that big.
Sharon. Or Karen.
Charon. Charon.
I thought it was a CH and a K, yeah.
I'd ask Galileo, but he still thinks that the sun goes around the earth, apparently.
No, he was forced to say that. He doesn't believe it.
That's what I'm saying. The official statement was, I was wrong. Copernicus is full of shit. 2008, the funniest comedian of all time, George Carlin, passed away. That's a really sad day. He only got to be 71. Had many heart attacks and did not take care of his health. Did too much coke, I think. Just did too much coke. If you don't know who George Carlin is, I feel sorry for you. There you go. All right. Maradona's famous Hand of God play took place, I guess it must have been in a World Cup on this day in 1986. Argentine footballer Diego Maradona scored his memorable Hand of God goal. The ball struck his hand, but the referee mistakenly thought it was his head. In the 1986 FIFA World Cup quarterfinal game against England, the illegal goal, you can tell England wrote this, the illegal goal, wait, is Britannica headquartered in, where are you? That's right, England.
Yeah,
the illegal goal. The illegal goal, it's a legal goal now. It's not an illegal, it's not a goal that's scored, it's an illegal goal.
It's not against the law either. It didn't break a law.
Argentina, you cheated. It's an illegal goal. It's not an illegal goal. It's a goal that the referee's allowed to score. It's not illegal. Nobody got arrested. Nobody gets arrested for a penalty. Well, sometimes they do, maybe. I don't know.
There's no laws against goals. Yeah.
So every footballer fan in England is like, Maradona's cheated in 1986. That Argentina World Cup doesn't count. They're Nazis anyway. Argentina. Ah. Anyway, Meryl Streep's birthday today. If you don't know, Meryl Streep and George Carlin. Oh, George Carlin's died on Meryl Streep's birthday. I wonder if he knew he was going to die on Meryl Streep's birthday. And she was born in 1949. If you don't know who Meryl Streep is, I think you should get out more. Other birthdays today. Unfortunately, they've changed their format, so they list every person who was ever born on June 22nd. So I'm going to have to go through the list and try to find people I know their names. David Selznick, American producer, born in 1902. Let's see what else I know. Anne Morrow Lindbergh, the wife of, and also a pilot of Charles Lindbergh, was born this day in 1906. We did Sir Julian Huxley. We did him.
Paul Charles Morphy, American chess player?
Yeah, man. What else we got here? Joseph Losey has a great name, Losee. He was an American motion picture director. Name is Lousy. I've seen a lot of lousy movies.
Conrad Zuse invented the a better calculator in 1937.
Check it out. It's the birthday of Roger the First. Roger the First was the Count of Sicily from 1072. There you go. There's all your birthdays.
Roger is originally a Sicilian name. You're Sicilian now.
Roger. You can't pronounce the G.
Yeah.
It's National Kissing Day, National Onion Rings Day. There's a good mix. Eat a bunch of onion rings and get in somebody's face and try to kiss them. That'll work.
Or share National HVAC.
National HVAC Tech Day. I wish I had one of those guys to come out here and recharge our air conditioner, but they really are expensive. I'm thinking about going to school for this. Seriously. I hate not knowing how to do stuff. I really hate not knowing how to do stuff, right? I really hate it. That's my problem here. If I want to do something, I want to do it myself. And I learn how to do it. And I do it sometimes
you only have yourself to blame.
Right. And paying somebody, it's like they fucked it up anyway. And I still got to work on it. So, yeah. A lot of professionals are just, professionals, and they just take their money and run. National Chocolate Eclair Day, National Onion Rings. That's probably better for kissing, a chocolate eclair. Hey, start at one end of a chocolate eclair and get to that cream filling and just get all of each other's face. That just sounds great. You get that chocolate frosting and the mushy stuff inside all over. But that's everything for today. Your technical glitches aplenty, your longer stories, your shorter stories, everything for Monday, Mucking Fonday, June 22nd, before onion rings and chocolate eclairs.
And a tasty kiss.
Get that? Oh, a tasty kiss unless it's onions.
Chocolatey onion kiss.
If it's onions, then it's over.
All right. There are no international UN observances today. And I relate this. Oh, we're holding on. I'm holding.
Hold on. I'm just trying to wait for YouTube to load it. It's doing that thing where it just says, hey, I know you clicked. But I don't care.
Well, I guess I kind of did art of the association, but right, we were talking about Lady and the Tramp, Kissing Day. There you go. That's probably why. They were like, I think it's probably one of the most famous kisses, and people do it all the time, right? They're like, I've got a spaghetti.
Jack White.
People even made a game about it. You know Pokey? The Japanese, kind of pretzel stick kind of thing? The Pokey? It's like a dipped chocolate stick.
Right. I used to call them Pocky. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's also a game you can play, right? Usually it's a game you play with somebody of the same gender, right? Because it's more of a game, right? If you're like, I could be gay or whatever. But yeah, you put a Pokey in someone's mouth, and then you see how close they can get to biting that Pokey without actually kissing you, and then that's like, it's like chicken. It's like gay chicken, I guess.
Gay chicken. Well, what's Stephen Colbert and Jack White? They did it late.
Did they do that? Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Not that it's bad to play gay chicken. I'm just saying.
Jack White said, "I'm never doing that again." So, little homophobia.
There's actually a list here that says, watch some movies with great kissing, like Cinema Paradiso. Time yourself on how long you can kiss somebody. I don't know why. you would do that.
Get out there and
share a story about your first kiss. Share your kisses
Get out there and
gone
suck
wrong.
face, everybody.
And I guess
My
talk about
first
your favorite
kiss,
kiss. Is it your favorite breakfast at Tiffany's kiss, Bodyguard, or Crazy Stupid Love? I don't know if I can think of my favorite kiss of all time. Sorry, I've never thought about that, actually.
No, not me. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. This has been Alison here from the Netherlands, Roger from the East Coast of the US, as we tie off another Mucking Fonday, the beginning of another week. Not the last week of June, but basically the last week of June. Yeah, because it's the last full week of June. So enjoy the heat wave. Stay cool out there if you're having a heat wave anyways. And we will see you tomorrow for a Good Tuesday News Day, in which we'll have all the good news you need to hear about so that you have hope in humanity again. Make sure that you're subscribed on Before Coffee Podcast or following on Before Coffee Podcast on Twitch and YouTube. It's the same name. You can find us there. Tell your dog, your cat, your family, your grandma, your uncle, your children to follow us on and subscribe to us. Because the more subscribers we have, the more YouTube actually pushes us. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Because if nobody's commenting or liking or subscribing, they just assume the channel's dead and they just don't push us out. Because we're anti-AI news. Thank you all the Before Coffee supporters on Patreon for keeping the lights on. And here is our completely unrelated but funny time mic drop moment. Well, it's not complete. Well, it was on your calendar.
Had this little dwarf
yes, it was on my calendar for this day in 2002. Okay, this is where he starts just off script, totally off script.
This is completely improvised, yeah.
Just used to put a little ballerina skirt on that elephant.
A midget they used to perform with an elephant in the circus.
Like that. That's why I thought it was so laughable at the time. There's a rumor going around the circus that that dwarf and the elephant were lovers.
That is pretty messed up.
Not on script. He's totally off script. He's just trying to break him up. Man.
Yeah. That thing is really good. He's not breaking himself up. Everyone else is dead.
Boy, it gets better. Everybody in this scene is still alive. Except for Tim Conway. Carol Burnett's still alive. Dick Van Dyke. And Vicki Lawrence is much younger than they are.
Elephant squash.
You know this didn't go out on the air. It couldn't have, right? Nobody can look up.
It's supposed to be like a special footage.
No, they did. Yeah, they taped it twice. They taped the show twice. They're not done.
I don't know whether it's because of rumor or not, but they're buried together.
They buried the elephant.
Great big tombstone. Guess it's
big tombstone for the elephant.
Just I was at this freak show one time and I saw these Siamese elephants.
Siamese? I guess it's possible.
He's still trying to break him up. He just moved on to another story. They can't fucking... What's the next line? Nobody even cares, right? What's this going? What's going to go here?
Oh, he's laughing too. He got caught in his own joke.
Right. Because he knows what he's going to say next, right? Nobody can keep a straight face. I still can't do the next line, man.
There was a joint at the end of their trunks like that.
Going at the end of their trunk,
They
so...
could stand up on their back feet like that, and it had their trunk stretched like that. Then this little monkey would come out. Walk out there and dance a merengue right out there. I felt sorry for them. They couldn't go like the other elephants when they go. All they could do is just blow and go north.
Where does he get this shit, man?
What a concept. The idea alone. It was crazy.
Right?
One is sneeze, the other's eyes get real big.
Blow the eyeballs up. Oh dear. It's a bit graphic even.
Go on, Mama. Sure that little asshole's through.
Oh no. It ended, everyone.
Everybody, yeah. And Steve, it's over.
Not rolling around on the floor. Yeah.
I don't know if that was on live TV or not. I don't know if that got on TV or not. Or that was just a backup one, right?
I mean, he said asshole, so I feel like it didn't get on TV.
They can bleep that out.
Oh, okay.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.